Hello and welcome to whatever fucking installment this is of 9 to 5 Nerds with Robert and Katrina Swathwood.
You already sound irritated.
No, I'm not irritated. It's been 4 months. 4 months since we recorded.
Really?
Yeah. Something
I
like
thought
that.
it was longer than that, but okay.
Well, I know we recorded in September. That's October, November, December. It's January.
Oh, maybe it just feels longer.
Well, some days seem like
A year.
and some days seem like I don't know. So yeah, this is our first episode back. I've been being, I wouldn't say bothered by people to come back. If you've been listening to the old episodes or you've hit me up and asked where we were and how we were doing, I appreciate it.
We're alive.
We are alive.
Barely.
And that's not funny. That's not even funny.
I'm joking.
Anyways,
Sorry.
no, we're good. Everybody's good here. We've had some scares and stuff, but no, everybody's fine. Everybody's healthy. We've been trying to get back in, but just like everybody else out there, sometimes it's just hard to find the motivation to get back out there. It's not like we don't feel like this is work. It's something I feel like we both enjoy doing. I don't know about you.
I do.
So it's something we both really enjoy, and I've had a lot of people that I know and people that I don't know hit me up and say, hey, what happened, guys? Are you okay? Are you coming out with new episodes? What's going on? Because we want some more, and that means a lot. Yeah, in
That you're loved.
well, and it's not that. It's just that even my friends don't have to be nice
No,
and
they
say,
don't.
hey, what's going on? But I mean, people that I don't even know have emailed me and said, hey,
Where'd you go?
where'd you go? And I'm like, oh, thanks for listening. You should go listen to these episodes. They're really good. And
Redirection.
yeah, and I just haven't got back. We had our best downloaded month ever, and then we stopped.
Which is funny because, I'm very monetarily motivated sometimes.
Okay.
And so it's really hard and I haven't been doing the checkbook, so maybe that's why it hasn't been bothering me. So there's my nice little thing that I haven't been doing. But I don't see the money coming out every month to keep it going. So maybe that's why I'm like, hey, back of the mind, out of sight, out of mind. So
Because, we've still been paying hosting fees
Yeah.
and all the stuff that goes along with running a podcast
but
for
not doing it,
4 months for not doing it. And it's...
which sounds stupid.
yeah,
But
yeah, it is what it is. And hopefully I can't guarantee that we're going to be back twice a week like we wanted to be, like we were doing in September. Like I said, we had, I don't give out numbers on here and stuff, but we had thousands of downloads in September.
which is great.
But that's a lot. Like, I can't tell you how much how many podcasts are there? 600,000 podcasts?
Million, gajillion.
And there's so many. And the fact that anybody has any interest in...
And takes the time.
and takes the time to listen to whatever we have to say is
Much appreciated.
Yeah. And we would do it if we had 5 listeners. We would do it if we had 30,000 listeners. We don't have that many, but I'm
No.
just saying we would. And the fact that people take the time to listen to us is really nice. But hopefully, we have a setup in our house right now that will remain set up.
And not broken down.
Yeah, so we can see it. It's not going to get broken down and reset up. And, you're getting a little behind the scenes of what we do here. But, it's set up now, and we plan on recording a couple times a week.
That's the plan?
That's the plan.
Okay.
I like, if we can get Alan on, or if we can get, friends on, or we can get special guests that had agreed in September, had agreed. I had multiple people in the comic book industry who had said, yeah, I'll come on. And then we just didn't do it. And cool guests. Like, I don't want to say who they are because I don't know if I can still get them,
right.
but we had really cool guests lined up, and then we just gave up. And that's on us. It's 100% on us.
I don't know if it's given up. It's like back burner.
And I know anybody listening realizes what's going on in the world, and sometimes it's hard. It's hard to keep a family going and keeping kids entertained and trying to keep everything level.
Do 20 people's jobs in one day.
and not have something fall to the wayside. And unfortunately for us, it was this.
See, that's the thing, is I can't even think about the things I can't do. I've started to think about the things that I am going to do that day. Like, what's the one thing I can do today and just get it done?
Yeah, and that's just kind of how you have to look at it. And you've been doing a great job.
Like, I just can't think about all the other things that I've let just like fall, because it'll just like stress me out and make me feel like I'm a horrible person.
It's stressful and it's depressing. And as much as I tell you or anybody that is seeking advice or that wants to talk, we're all in this together, and it's tough, and we can't be too hard on ourselves right now. We just can't. And I'm guilty of that over these last 3 days. I've been having a really tough time with all kinds of stuff, and you just can't be too hard on yourself. I always thought I was a negative person. Apparently I'm a super positive person, and I didn't know
Sorry.
this. But it's tough. And I hope if you're listening to this and you're out there that if you are having a tough time, you reach out and you talk to somebody, because sometimes that's all it takes. I have a support group around me, and Katrina has one around her. I have her, and I have friends. Alan's been on here, and anytime I have issues, or I need a vent, or I need to calm down, I reach out to those two people. They're the two people I have that I put faith in, and know that they're there for me. And I'm sure if you're listening, you have people like that as well, and to reach out to them if you are having issues. This isn't going to be a completely depressing episode. I do these because I enjoy doing them, and I just wanted this first episode back to be about what's going on with us and what we plan on doing, and how things are going. What do you think?
I think that's a good segue.
Yeah.
Where do you want to start?
With what's going on?
Well,
I wanted to take this time to just let everybody know what's going on and what our plans are going forward. I'd like to record 2 30-minute episodes a week.
Okay, that's doable.
Roughly 30 minutes.
Can you stay awake?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, if we do one on the weekend and one during the week, I'll be fine.
It's a fair question. I'm sorry.
I have a very active job, and sometimes I'm extremely tired. And then when you come home and try to entertain two young boys, it's
who've been stuck inside all day.
Who've been stuck inside, yeah. So it's tough some days, but I'm putting it out there, and I'm speaking into existence that we will record 2 30-minute episodes a week, and if we have a guest on, one of them will be longer. Nobody's coming to our house. We are not going on. Well, if we have Alan or Brian or one of the guests that said they would come on, we could do a 45-minute to an hour episode.
Okay. That's fair.
I don't want to come on here and force people to listen to something, or to me or you talk about things we are uninterested in. I want to.
Why would we want to do that?
Exactly. Why would we want to force a 1-hour episode when a 30-minute 30 hour?
Oh, no.
We did that 7-hour episode.
Oh, my God. I was dying after 3 hours.
I think, yeah, there was like hour 4 and 5 were bad. And then I think hour 6 and 7 were
because you saw the light at the end of the tunnel, like, it's almost over.
If you haven't listened to those, we did a 7-hour episode that we released in 7 1-hour increments.
Biggest headache ever.
It was
literally.
It was tough. But no, I have a lot of things I want to talk about. I have things that I'm excited to talk about.
Great.
And not in this episode.
Oh.
This is just the welcome back episode.
Okay.
I want to get to what the next episode will be about in a second. I just wanted to let our listeners who have been wondering where we are, that we are going to be back. And I'm hoping to do, I can't come out here and say that we're going to release 2 every week. I'd like to.
That's ambitious.
My goal is to do between 5 and 8 episodes a month.
Okay.
That would
Well, it's January.
Yeah.
And it's not the end of January yet.
No, it's not.
So we could easily hit your goal.
Well, it's the middle of January. I mean, I can't.
Well, I meant from now. Like, not like if you half your goal for a month. That's kind of doable.
But there's also got to be, has to be
quality, not quantity.
Quality and commitment from both of us. Me staying up to watch stuff and you dedicating time to read stuff that I set aside for you to read.
Okay. I have a planner coming tomorrow.
Okay.
So I will plan time and make the time
Okay.
to read stuff that you want me to read.
Okay.
Is that fair?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I have stuff
So
set.
I don't want to hear anything about, hey, Katrina, you got to stop doing what you're doing and come do this.
When do I do that?
I don't know.
Well, why would you say it like that then?
Because if I sit down to do something, you want to show me a video about something, or if I'm in the middle of a task that's really important, you're like, oh, hey, look at this. And I'm like right in the middle of something. So that's what I'm talking about.
Well, when can you set aside time? Like if I bother you after 8:00?
See, I think there's a difference between bothering and interrupting.
Those are the same thing. Bothering and interrupting in itself is you're making somebody
You're being
pause.
bothered. I guess that's true.
You're making somebody pause what they're
true.
doing.
Well, we'll have to like meet together and figure out our schedule, and then we can.
We know each other's schedule. It's
That's not fair. That's not fair.
No, it is fair. I'm just saying you can say after 8:00. After 8:00, it should be fine. What are you still doing at 8:00?
Okay, we're still getting kids to brush teeth and get them into bed.
I understand.
Because apparently our bedtime routine takes 40 fucking minutes every goddamn night. Like, I don't even understand that. That's crazy to me.
That's having kids.
No, that's
you signed up for this.
I know, but like it is it's increasingly getting longer. Like every day, like it's one more minute or one more thing, and I'm like, Jesus, like how long does it take to get these kids to actually go to bed and then go to sleep?
30 to 40 minutes.
Which, you know, what's funny is that probably our kids go to bed earlier than most, especially for our oldest.
Yeah, our soon to be 8 and 11-year-old go to sleep at 8:30 to 8:40 now.
We let them sleep up a little bit later or stay up a little later on Fridays and Saturdays. But school nights, we're pretty strict on that.
Yeah.
And honestly, our oldest needs it. He's such a grump in the morning if he doesn't get enough sleep. Like that kid has to go to bed on time.
Yeah, no, I agree. But I think after 8:00, they're getting ready for bed. If I was to show you something.
Oh, I don't know. You know how our oldest just talks like a million times, like over anything all day long. Like I honestly should just like keep a recorder on like one time just to see how much he talks.
He's not the only one.
It feels like it.
It's because he's our only one.
I guess that's true.
Can you imagine having like 8 kids?
No, I cannot imagine having 8 kids, Mr. I want more children.
If I was guaranteed a girl, I'd have one more.
No.
I can't have kids. I physically can't anymore. Thank you.
Sorry.
But I'm sure it's every kid. I'm sure not every kid, but there's tons of kids like that.
I think it's also magnified that he really doesn't have anybody else to talk to.
Well, I mean, he does.
He does, but, you know, he hasn't been playing games like he was before.
No, he wasn't, which is great because I hate Fortnite.
I know. And he hasn't been FaceTiming with people because that's what they would do, is they would FaceTime and play, which I think is just so weird because you can talk to each other in the game. So why do you need to be FaceTiming with each other? I don't know. I don't get it. And their phone etiquette is freaking awful.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Like,
at what age do you learn to say goodbye and then hang up, not just hang up the phone?
I don't know. Like, when I was younger, there was rules about the phone. You don't call before 9 o'clock in the morning. You don't call after 6 o'clock.
Oh,
at night.
Ours was you don't call after 9.
Okay, well,
maybe it was 8.
It was 6 o'clock because of dinner and like nighttime routines. Like you just don't do that. And you know, I don't understand this like repeated calling. Like you call, they don't pick up, you hang up, you call back.
Yeah,
you
that's crazy.
You call back. Like you don't leave a message. And then so like when I had remembered asking Parker to message a friend about something, and he said, "Oh, I'll just keep messaging him until he responds." I was like, "No." I was like, "Send him one message and then just let it go out there." And I was like, "And if you don't get a response by like the next day, then say like, hey, is everything okay? What's going on?" Like you don't harass somebody to get them to respond to you. But I guess that's what you do, because you know what is funny? That happens to me at work now. Someone will call. I won't answer. It'll go to voicemail. They'll call right back. They'll call me like 5-10 times. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, this must be like a new wave of communication. I don't understand it. And it bothers me.
Maybe it's just people that didn't have that person at home to tell them what the etiquette was.
It is consistent.
Because I have a situation at work where somebody will call and they'll call back and they'll call back again and call back again. And I'm like, what are you doing?
Like, leave me a message. And that's kind of my barometer, especially for the work that I do.
Yeah.
If you don't leave me a message, that tells me it's not important.
Yeah.
And you're just trying to get me on the phone for whatever reason that might be. And I'm sorry, I'm just like way too freaking busy that I just can't be picking up the phone and being like, hi, what's going on? I have one person
Yeah.
who basically calls me to have a conversation.
Maybe they're lonely.
And I get that. And I try to be as nice as I possibly can. I get it.
Especially, can you imagine if somebody is single or lives alone and they right now and they get injured and then they're just at home by themselves?
This person doesn't speak English, so there's that like
The
added
barrier.
on there too. And like I'm trying to bend over backwards, and like they'll call and ask me questions about things that I have like no control over, and I don't know how many times I have to explain. I literally can't do anything for you in this particular situation. Can I help you with something else? Like, is there anything else that I can help you with? And it's really hard because, you know, I don't want to tell them not to call me because that's not
Yeah.
that my job is to help them. And but I can't sit on the phone for 45 minutes with one person just talking about the day.
Yeah. No, I understand.
And it's sad because, you know, I try to contain that as much as possible without sounding like a complete bee. But
My situation is more along the lines of we have 4 lines in our office, and one of them is to me, one of them's general, and one of them's to my coworker. And I'm not going to answer my coworker's calls because I don't know what the answer is because I don't handle what they handle.
They do. Right.
And so I let them ring, and I'm like, okay, this person called once. Okay, this person called twice. All right, on the third time, I'm like, hey, this person will call you back. You know, stop calling.
Yeah.
I honestly,
Is it an emergency? Is somebody dying?
And I'm sorry, in our work, nobody's dying. And I'm sorry, there is no emergency for you to call 8 times in a row. That just means that somebody can't help you right now. Leave a message, and we'll get back to you.
Right. That's what voicemails are for.
Oh, absolutely.
And
granted, the person doesn't check their voicemail, so I mean,
oh, well, then that's a different problem.
I'm like, hey, you have a voicemail because
Is it flash?
Well, most phones are the same, like those Cintas phones that are like the off teal that have the little window and the different lines on it.
Okay.
And there's a light on the back of the phone where if you have a message, it'll be solid red. And
Right.
if it's not, there won't be. And I'm like, hey, you have a message? Oh, yeah, okay. And it's always like that. It's always red now.
Oh my God. That would freak me out. Like my voicemail is obviously different. I'm work from home.
Yeah.
And it's all computer based. So I will get an email and I will get a voicemail. So the email has the voice like recording, like an attachment that I can open and listen through my computer, or I can listen to the voicemail
I have that.
on my computer. It's like through my headphone, through my phone. But what's weird is if I click on the email, like the alert goes away. So I have to like keep track of my voicemails.
No, thank you.
And, you know, it's tricky, but
Yes,
you know.
we're you're hearing us complain, but we're both very thankful we still have jobs. We know a lot of people out there don't, and it's
awful.
It's hard out there. Hopefully, you know, in the next couple of weeks you'll get some help. You know, things are changing. New people are coming in, and hopefully, I don't want to get political. Hopefully, things will change for the better coming up. But no, this next episode, since we just bitched for 10 minutes. This next episode, I want to talk about some of the stuff we saw last year. Kind of we don't have to talk about everything because we watched a ton of stuff last year. I mean, we're all stuck inside, so it's.
Did you keep track?
Constantly? No, but like I'd like to go over the highlights, like
Okay.
The Boys or
That was good.
or Queen's Gambit or
That was good.
you know The Flight Attendant, which we actually watched at the beginning of this year.
Which was weird.
But we can talk
I
about.
don't know if you really enjoyed that one.
The second half I did. The first half, and what's funny is I recommended to it to a guy at work who doesn't have an anxiety disorder, and he's like, oh my God, it caused me so much anxiety, and I was like, yeah, it did. That's why I paid attention, but I had to have my phone there to look at when it got a little
too much for you.
Too much for me. But we'll get into that next episode.
Okay.
I'd like to talk about some of the highlights of stuff, and those 3 were just the ones that came to mind. As far as movies, I can't really think of any off the top of my head that really stood out last year. Obviously, it wasn't a big year for new movies. I mean, we could talk the Harley Quinn movie. We could talk Wonder Woman next episode, and kind of.
Well, that was last year.
Yeah, or we can or Soul. You know, we could break down movies and shows or comic books. I'm gonna give you a little list of the books that I read that towards the end of this episode, just to kind of to hold you over until the next episode. which we'll probably record tomorrow, so we can keep track of these things. I said 1 weekday, 1 weekend. We're going to do 2 this weekend just so we can get those first 2 out
Crank
and get
'em
the
out.
ball rolling, and just so people have something to listen to. It was interesting because like I said, I had people I don't know, and in my mind, I feel like the only people that listen to this show are people that we know.
Like the handful of people.
Yeah, and it's just not the case
No.
anymore. When you're getting, a few thousand downloads a month like we did before we stopped,
Right.
I don't have that many friends.
Are you
know?
sure?
And for a split second there, and I don't want to toot my own horn, for a split second there,
Toot toot.
we were ranked on iTunes
Oh, that's funny.
or on Apple
Something.
Podcasts or whatever it is. We were ranked.
You were on a list.
Yeah.
How did it feel to be on a list, Robert?
It was cool. I don't think we're on it anymore.
Well,
But
that's okay.
I think that your goal, and I know it's adding more work, is to make sure that once this goes up, that it's going to Spotify and it's going to
Okay, that's
to,
fair.
To what's we always know it goes to Apple,
Uh-huh.
but what was the other?
Google Play?
Stitcher,
Oh, that
Google
too.
Play, all those things. We need to
Okay.
make sure that it's going out to those, because I had some people reach out and be like, "Hey, you were on Stitcher and now something's happening, and hey, where are your episodes on Spotify?" I don't have the answer to those things because I'm not tech support.
Yeah, he's definitely not tech support.
So, it was kind of cool because some of the people that reached out live in other countries, and I was like, "Oh man, this is cool." Like they told
Around
me
the
that
globe.
I'm listening to you from here. So if you are a fan and you're listening, you can email me, or you can hit me up on Twitter at 9to5nerds, and you can hit me up a lot of places. I mean, I'm everywhere. I'm everywhere.
Oh God.
But mostly on Twitter, 9to5nerds, Instagram, 9to5nerds, Facebook, 9to5nerds. It's all those things.
Oh.
All those things. But yeah, let me know where you're listening from. Let me know if there's anything you want us to talk about this year. If there's a movie or show or comic book you want us to watch or read. We really want to kind of make this a good year. 2020 and the end of 2019 were kind of a bummer for us. The end of 2019, we had some family issues. Not our household, but extended family. We had talked about it on here that your grandma had passed away,
Right.
and you had to take care of a lot of family stuff, and that kind of stopped 2019. And then when we started to get going again, all this hit, and we tried to keep up with it, and then we were really hitting our stride there August, September, and then just we lost it. And
School started, and that was another hurdle to deal with.
Yeah.
Distance learning, and having our now newly experience of dealing with a quarantine, like that was a new wrench, and the youngest breaking his shoulder, like
our youngest broke his shoulder. We could talk about it on the next episode too. We can talk about how
God.
Christmas was.
Oh jeez.
But I'll leave you with just what I've been reading lately. That I feel like being a comic book collector, or reader, whatever, you can kind of get stuck in a situation where you're just going through the motions and reading something just because you always have.
Okay.
Like I have Spider-Man on my pull list. I can't tell you the last time I actually read it.
So are you talking about the need for a purge?
I've been getting rid of stuff on my pull list while still supporting the people that I like to support.
Like artists and writers?
Yeah,
Okay.
There's creators that I really enjoy, and I'm going to support them regardless. And we have our friends over at Skybound, and we will support them in as much
All
as
endeavors.
we can. Well, they're good people, and they've treated us great, and we've been there since the beginning.
They're also very groundbreaking when it comes to supporting people who need it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And getting content out there that they believe in.
Well, it starts at the top, the different drops that Kirkman's had to help comic book stores with the
Pandemic.
Negan Lives and stuff, sending those issues out for them. I think they didn't charge them for the book, and they covered shipping, so that's all profit for those comic book stores. And if I'm incorrect, please correct me. I don't have feelings, so you're not going to hurt them.
Oh, you do.
Not when it comes to stuff like that. Internally in this house are a lot different than me externally when people are saying stuff to me. I don't give a shit what anybody else says. But he's trying to help the industry. So, we try to support the people over there, the creators, the people that work there. But just to leave you with a little bit of reading material to go in until the next episode that we do. It's been a little while since I've had that feeling where like, oh, I can't wait for this issue to come out. I can't wait.
I think I know where this is going.
Where do you think it's going?
I don't know. Continue, please.
No, well, now you have to try to guess. Where do you think it's going?
I think this is going to Firepower.
That's one of them. I have 3 books that I'm and Firepower's at the top of that list.
Okay.
But there's 3 books that I find myself, and I don't know if any of you comic book readers out there have had that where you get a stack of 10, 15 books and there's that one that you always hit up first.
Okay.
And right now that's Firepower, and I'll talk about what it's about and who the creators are next week. But not only that, that's the first book ever that my Parker, our oldest, has been like, oh, is there a new Firepower out? And there is. We need to go this weekend. Issue 7's out. But that I find myself looking forward to. It's a martial arts book, but like I said, I'll talk about that more next week. Stillwater, excellent book. That's another one that I find myself wanting to know what happens. Hey, when's this next issue coming out? And Getting It Together, which is just a character drama book that there's no superpowers, there's no horror, no thriller, no fantastic adventure. It's just a character drama, and I find it refreshing.
That's very out of your character for reading.
Well, I like dramas, but yes, you're right. As far as watching them, I like character dramas.
Right.
As far as reading them,
that's not your bag.
No, I'm fantasy, I'm sci-fi, I'm action adventure.
I find that really interesting.
And we'll talk about the creators there, about all 3 of those books next week, because I've really been finding myself excited for those to come out. And it's been a little while that I've been really, and not that there are the books out there that I don't like. There's a lot of good stuff out there. Redneck's really good.
Yes.
And I find myself reading a lot less of the big 2. I still collect Spider-Man. I read The 3 Jokers, which I really enjoyed. You should read that as well. I really enjoyed those.
We'll make a list.
It's only 3 issues. They're extra large issues, but
of course they are.
Well, they're like, it's probably ends up being like between 6 and 8 issues.
Okay, that's not terrible.
No, not at all. But I find myself really looking forward to when those are coming out. And when I kind of lost that for a little while, it's nice to have it back.
I do miss reading. And it's been really awful because last year I made a goal to read a book a month.
You started well.
And I was doing really, really well until March.
Mm-hmm.
And I started a book in March and then I never finished it.
I feel like you read more than one book a month for the first couple months.
I read a couple books that were small.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of got ahead. But no, I hit one book and it was kind of a difficult read. And then all like the earth came crashing down and I was just like, you know what?
Well, it's a new year. And, we're all hoping that it's not going to happen anytime soon, but we're hoping that this year things start to turn around. We can only control what we can control. We can hopefully turn things around by committing to watching new stuff, reading new stuff, playing new stuff, and go from there and see where it happens.
Right. No, I'm trying to set small little goals because, we kind of gave up on Gloomhaven too.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that a lot.
I've been thinking about that a lot too because Lacey had mentioned that when Ethan went out with them, that they started playing again because she wants to incorporate him into their party.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, you know what? I was like, that really sucks. I was like, we totally just put that away.
Yeah. And Parker played it a handful of times with us, and he was getting it finally.
He kind of got the hang of it. And then we have Frosthaven coming out, which is going to get shipped here.
When?
Isn't it in February?
I don't think so.
Oh, well, anyways, they can delay it all they want to.
Yeah, because we need to beat the first one.
We got to beat the first one. I'm not worried about that.
But I'd like to pick that back up, too.
One of my impulse purchases that I bought.
For $250.
Oh, my God. But how much did we have to buy Gloomhaven over the counter?
$149.99.
And then I had to buy all that extra crap to
hold it. And the Frosthaven is that
I got all the extra stuff,
yeah,
so I don't have to worry about that stuff.
Yeah. But no, and that'll be this episode. We're gonna record tomorrow or the next day and get another episode out to you. So there should only be 2 or 3 days in between this episode and the next episode. Plus, we have a bonus episode that was recorded in September or October. You never put that
Yeah, I
up,
was
did you?
wondering if you wanted me just to put that one up
Let's get 2 episodes up
and then put
and
that
then
one
post
up.
that up. So
Okay.
just so you know, this episode will go up, and then we'll have another current one, and then there'll be one that was recorded like 4 months ago. It was one of my favorite Arnold movies is Running Man, and Katrina had never seen it, so we watched it.
Yes.
Yes. I don't even remember what it says. So
Oh, you didn't edit it?
I
think you did.
I think I did. You should just put it up. Yeah, because it was
Okay.
ready to go up.
Yeah, it was.
So
and
we'll
I
do
just
these-
didn't put it up.
Yeah, we'll do these 2 episodes, and then we'll put that out. But we're back.
Okay.
We should be, like I said, 5 episodes a month. I hope people come back, and listen. With enough people that have bothered me, I'm sure that they'll be back. And I'm not even gonna edit this one. It can go straight up.
Okay.
This will be uncut.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Sorry for any misspoken things I've said.
I don't think you said anything. I usually keep it in the back of my mind.
If I say something that stupid?
No, anybody would. I'll be like, oh shit, I'm gonna need to edit this out, or oh, this is gonna need to be cut. But I don't think we had any of that this time.
No?
Do you?
That's good.
Think about it.
I don't think I did.
Well, good.
I could have done worse.
All right, that'll be this episode, and we'll be back shortly. I promise.